Hello everyone and welcome back to MDG Media. We are bringing you coverage of the 2025 Professional World Championships here in Nokia, Finland. A historic moment, the first Worlds ever hosted in Europe, and the best players around the world, the best organizers in the world have gathered here to put on a show for us. I'm Connor Wood and with me, Mr. Andrew Gum.
Yeah, the most highly anticipated event, perhaps of all times. It's finally here, it's time to enjoy. Really looking forward to going through this with you and happy to have you all along with us. Homies at Flying Plate Company got the official merchandise. Get on site to get that gear. Super cool stuff. We also got Wayo apparel on the merch or on the website from mdg.eu.
We kick off our second feature card here. Kristin Lätt, highest rated FPO player in the world, has had a roller coaster of a season so far, but always capable on the big stage.
Yeah, we have Missy Gannon as well, always smiling. Capable of winning at this high level as well. It'll be nice to get her world championship, something she's always dreamed of.
Holyn Handley, strong player from the States. She has a recent win just at Krokol Open no more than a few weeks ago and has already found a title in Europe. We'll see if she can secure a second one.
We also have Sofia Donnecke from Canada. She's been really enjoying her time here in Europe, playing very well, and has all the skill set to attack these courses for sure.
We will start here on hole number 1. This par 3 has the initial triple mando, requiring players to throw a straight to softly leftwards ending shot. The pace and speed will be the biggest measurement of how close you can get, assuming that you hit the gap. Ideally here as the drone flies with some late stability, but because it's a downhill and softly right to left sloping hole, a straight shot on flat ground will naturally be moved to the left here. So it's very common that you'll see a friendly slide or ground play late in the flight. Great starting hole, cool stands right behind the tee, fantastic energy.
Yeah, definitely the place to be right now in the disc golf world, without a doubt. And a very iconic first hole.
Teeing first, the two-time world champion, representing Estonia, Kristin Lätt.
Kristin is who many consider to be the best FPO player in the world. This season, she's been very vocal about some struggles she had with putting mechanics, with some focus, but she's here and she's playing. We're happy to see that.
United States disc golf champion, Missy Gannon.
Yeah, and she got off the tee really well there. She's won this event in the European Open iteration before, so she has all that experience. Of course, two-time world champ as well.
Missy's signature pre-shot routine. She centers herself. Soft hyzer angle. She gets some forwards push. The height will certainly be enough to move her leftwards.
Teeing off next, representing the USA, Holyn Handley.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Holyn's been playing very well over here in Europe this summer and throughout the season. A big World Championship win would put her, I think, up at the top of the running for Player of the Year.
Teeing off next,
pretty well.
the 2024 Canadian national champion, Sofia Donnecke.
Holyn with not as much progress as I think she would have liked to see. We go now to Donnecke. A name that I think fewer people will be familiar with watching MDG here, but she's been reliably performing here in Europe so far. We go to Holyn up first. Just a jump putt approach here. Speed management will be critical. Not as close as she'd like it on the elevated basket, but certainly more than enough. Missy likely the same, plays to the right side using that right to left slope. Really nicely done.
Oh, layup hits the root there. Kind of an unforced error. It'll give her more work left there. 4. But she drills it. Good confidence. Getting a solid putt on an elevated basket here.
Nice delivery for Sofia. We go to Kristin now.
Oh, no. That can roll away. That's not how you want to start the...
A putt further now than she had previously and simply lays it up. Will concede the early bogey. That one missed putt providing 2 additional strokes.
Yeah, very unfortunate to just catch the nubs there and turn.
We see it a lot on this green, it being sloped, and also on the elevation. The cage is brutal here.
Tough break there right off the start.
And we'll see her fortitude and composure here, moving forwards with an early bogey. The tournament has begun.
Oh, it's such a good feeling. 5 rounds. You know, we've been waiting for this, and now it's here. The crowds are already massive here, even today on opening day, Wednesday. Hole 2, par 3, 95 meters. Moving from left to right, quite a lot at the very end. Pretty tight OB, all the way down there. Kind of cinches up about halfway, 3/4, and then definitely comes into play on the backside. There you see that beautiful green, nicely guarded with the pine tree and some bushes behind. So we've seen a lot of shots, you know, different types of shots on this in the past, and it's kind of like anything you really feel like you can control there at the end of the flight to get it from left to right.
Traditionally,
yeah.
many players would consider a pure forehand hyzer if they have the power. Some prefer the backhand turnover here, but something with some late fade potentially brings the left OB more into play, as well as OB long if you flex it out a little bit too much. So this play from Holyn here is the most traditional as the fairway is shaped.
She makes that look super easy and gets right to the pin. Look at it.
Super easy.
Oh,
you said it,
wow.
Andrew.
So just totally smooth with that flick and lands it right under the bucket. Sofia going with the turnover. It's got a great shape to it. Can it keep the line all the way to the end? It does, just outside the circle, pin high.
A very solid shot. We saw that stability kicking in late in the flight. Any earlier and she would have been in trouble, but controlled the turnover nicely. We go to Kristin now, also very capable on the forehand hyzer.
Absolutely.
This one she releases flat, uses a more overstable disc, gets a late finish with that wide rim stability. Really nicely done as well, up into the green. We'll see if she can bounce back on putting green. She's cited a feeling of almost disconnect between her hand and her brain when trying to putt recently. We go to Missy from circle 2.
Oh, grabbing heavy chains on the right side, but doesn't collect it. Still smiling, as always. It was a great bid. A little bit low, right.
Kristin now for birdie. Another one
low
early
left.
released out to the left, coming back for the par now. And you can see she's traditionally been a pure straddle putter. We're seeing her experiment also with different stances now to try and overcome the putting struggles which she's enduring.
Definitely sad to see them continue. Hope she can right the ship. Find some comfort on the green. You know, 5 rounds. Plenty of time to get the groove on.
No doubt, and a longer hole 3 here, playing par 5. Players will first throw it into this fairway. They have a choice to make, to lay up here before this OB river or to try and crush one way over. I think the layup is more than sufficient for the birdie. It will be the most common play, as trying to cross is very risky. You then have to get through this winding or straight fairway with various trees littering. You want to then slowly get your way into this second leg of the fairway and onto this dangerous green. We see this little depressed bowl here, a very common landing zone, just short because we have an elevated basket and a steep hill behind that rolls directly towards OB. This is a treacherous hole. OB everywhere. You just need to keep yourself in the fairway.
Holyn flexing a backhand. But it's a little bit too low to get the full flight she needed. Out of bounds. Missy with a nice touching layup.
Sofia opting for a standstill forehand, bringing little to no danger into play at all. Pure one angle positional shot. Go to Kristin now. And she's trying to push for this. She has great distance.
Oh,
This backhand is crushed
so
into the
good.
second half. She has cleared the gap easily.
huge.
Fantastic accuracy and power for her on display. We go to Missy.
Yeah, world class. Shot there off the tee. Missy, after the layup, does very well herself and gets pretty far up there. Just about 100 meters left to the basket.
Sofia, after laying up, crosses on the second. A nice, straight, piercing shot.
Ooh,
A lot of distance bitten off there. She's going to have an almost sideways look into the green. We'll see what gap she opts for. I think another forehand hyzer from there, most likely. We go to Holyn.
Holyn fading out towards that OB.
Danger. Cameraman jumps it, and the disc remains out of bounds. She was out of bounds on the first shot now, as well as the second. The strokes are adding up for Holyn. We go to Kristin, her second throw now.
Yeah, you got to keep it clean out here at the Beast. You can't be giving away strokes like that. You know the field's going to be scoring hot. As we see Kristin get up there nicely. Hits a tree at the end of it, so doesn't quite move that far left at the end, but had plenty of distance anyway for an easy approach. Oh, Missy slips hard. Falls down. Disc falls down, but inbounds. Definitely shot the nose up on that one as she slipped out from under her. Not punished particularly, but hopefully she's okay.
This is Holland's fifth stroke now. And she is caught up, not yet within putting distance. She will still have some work to do. Likely a double bogey if she can lay up from there successfully.
Yeah, not what you want from this one. I mean, it does have teeth, but it's also super scoreable. You know, you do see.
Only 240 meters as a par 5. It is very reasonable. Really solid shot there from Sofia. She will be putting along the spine of the hill. We go to Missy now. A very specific shot. She'll need to try and land short of the hill here while not leaving herself too long of a putt towards the slope. We see great control and speed there. Gets it right up on the top and sits it down immediately.
Yeah, played into the ridge perfectly. Yeah, you don't really want a putt, you know, towards the OB on this one. With the elevated basket, you're almost surely going there if you don't catch anything. So you're happy if you can line up on that ridge side like she did. Holyn with a really good approach. She should have no problems from there. And Kristin, stay safe.
But you can see how quickly that comes into play. That shot looked very reasonable, and she was literally centimeters from remaining out of bounds. We go to Sofia on the elevated basket.
Oh, look good. Just a little high left. Splashes out of the chains. And Kristin.
That was for her birdie, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Now going to be
Just
tapping in the par.
Deep breath for Missy, and she hammers it home.
We see the par for Sofia here. Kept it clean down the fairway along with Kristin. Both of them having a chance at the birdie as a result. Not translating. Holyn here for 7 after going OB on the first and second shots. She does it in the 5 throws, but those 2 additional penalties will hurt a little bit. And as mentioned, Kristin in for par as well.
Hey guys, quick break. We just dropped our brand new 2025 MDG Media Tour clothing collection, which is now available on our online shop. You will find fresh apparel and a full lineup of discs. If you like what we do, if you want to support the project, this is the best way. See you on the website and enjoy the video.
Yeah, really nice slow-mo there, and do what Max says. Everything you can to support goes a long way. Hole 4 is a par 4, 160 meters or 525 feet through the woods here, crossing over from the road. This is, a little town, Nokia, that they turn into this beast course, for these special events. And this is a legendary hole. Yeah, you want to break down through the pipe. Don't want to kick left or you're in a lot of trouble. Road up on the right is OB. Second shot, as you can see, quite tricky, moving from left to right into this well-guarded green on a sloped hillside. The entire hole slopes from right to left on a hillside. That has to be accounted for at all times with the disc angle. And yeah, this one can definitely give you problems if you don't keep it clean and in the fairway. In a way, probably the tightest hole on the course,
Missy up first. Shaped this really nicely down the fairway. Solid progress there. And kicks back towards the center fairway. You would like to be as much right as possible. It does open up the angle, but I think where Missy is certainly fine. We'll see. Forehand here from Sofia, and I would guess likely the other two as well. Just to have that rightwards movement towards the end, Sofia kicks a tree left and finds it early. That will not be enough progress to bring birdie into play. See if Kristin can make the correction on the forehand release. A hyzer flip plays very nicely, a soft flex even potentially. And we see the hyzer from Kristin. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, beautiful catch cam angle there. All these different tree species, just that disc flying down there. What a beautiful sport. And what a cool thing to be doing right here at the World Championships, covering this. This one's wide. Coming back. Not too bad. You can find, if it settles up nice, there's some sort of like tighter inside lines as it curls up, yeah. That you can maybe put like a backhand hyzer up towards the basket. But the main fairway, yeah, up more a little bit on the right. There are these mando trees that we're seeing right here that just keep you from doing anything along the road. Danger for the spectators and the members of the community as a small town. People just out walking around. Keep you honest down the pipe here.
Missy with a nice angle to access the green. She fires it a touch straight and will be obscured by one of those guardian bushes. Didn't get into the final access of the green. Sofia going to shape a forehand flex here. It's really specific in the ceiling. You have the low ceiling of the branches. She chose to go more around them and then underneath them and quickly falls down.
Oh no, that's overturned down into the bush.
And I think for both of them, we see that right to left slope coming into play. At least Kristin with the walk up there looked to be, her body weight was shifting left as she's releasing, and the disc went with it. It's certainly something you need to manage. We see a lot of standstills for that reason. And I expect the same from Sofia again.
It rained pretty heavily overnight, so the playing surface is quite moist, and this place has typically been quite slippery if it gets used up a lot. It's in great condition now. They've done, such an incredible job. Shout out to the whole team, the groundskeepers especially. All these grass fairways looking better than ever, super lush. But yeah, it was wet. There was some slipping issues for sure. And this hillside is steeper than it looks on camera, so seen a bunch of good approaches there. But it's tough. It's a tough green. You can be pretty close as we see Missy and still have, no real chance.
Go now to Holyn's long stab.
Oh,
off the top.
Definitely a good bid.
Kristin in for the par. Sofia left with this short look. Does secure the bogey 5. And as you may hear, there's a lot of action on this course in certain places. There's the roads, there's planes, there's people, there's action. You really need to be dialed in on your focus, your pre-shot routines. There's a lot going on here, Nokia.
It's a very unique venue, for sure, for disc golf. Iconic.
We continue to hole 5, a beautifully framed 102-meter par 3 straight shot. The two main risks are, of course, that steep right to left slope. Anything that catches edge will quickly roll away down there. And the second one being OB right, but you really need to do something way off the fairway to find that. The main challenge here is to get something ending or landing flat towards the end of the flight. Something slightly understable for that reason will play better than something super overstable, but for the forehand flex, that is definitely a viable option. It comes down to player preference. Playing something more overstable will simply catch you on edge more often, so an understable, flat ending shot is the safest way to manage the slope.
That one leaks left quickly and falls down in between the two fairways here of 5 and 6. No OB on this one to worry about, but can be pretty far out of position if you roll down that hill. That one stayed up on the hill. It can be tough footing from there. Might be obstructed as well. Such a nice shot here, though. It's, as you said, sloping quite heavily from right to left. But you're actually throwing pretty much, you know, maybe slightly downhill. But at the end, it's like over a valley sort of feeling. Just a little bit downhill.
A really beautiful aesthetic to this hole. We see Sofia's fade come in too early and she will go down the hill. The one benefit of going down left is that you have a pretty safe run. You're going so steeply uphill. You can run that every time and be very close. The backstop is there for you. You just need to make sure you don't roll again. If you find yourself down and left, we go to Kristin to get close to the green.
There is that really nice lake there. It's pretty rare for him to roll all the way down there, but that's always possible.
Missy, a look between the trees. And a nice bid, just a little bit shy on the power, but a very good line. Holyn here drops to the knee, opens up the width and gets a little bit more in line looking downhill. And you can see a little bit of tentative releases here from our card. Speaks to the danger of this super sloped hole.
Comebacker's weak. Racking up some unnecessary strokes here early on, but there's still time to turn things around.
More than enough time. We are 5 holes into a 5-round tournament. The split between the pools and the players, and if they make the cut, will most likely be 3 rounds here at Nokia Disc Golf Park, and then 2 rounds at Tampere Disc Golf Center.
Yeah, 2 brilliant courses. Players just love it there in Tampere, and then of course everyone has these fond memories of Nokia. And it's all of its glory in the past, you know, being the site of the European Open for a decade or more. Yeah, so then moving on to hole 6, there's like a lake you can walk to just right there along the path if you need a break. If it's one of these really hot days like we're having this kind of heat wave here in Finland, you want to go over there and get a dip, you know, if you're playing around. But then you hit the gap on hole 6, straight down the pipe, 100 meters, but plays like a fair bit more than that, being so uphill, especially here at the very end of it. Camera doesn't quite show, but it's pretty steep up there. I would say maybe playing more like, I don't know, 115, 120. Of course, you can get it, you know, keep it low and get a nice skip up there if you hit the hillside. But it's a pretty tight gap off the tee here.
2 main gaps to hit. The first right off the tee and then the late one into the green. We see a hyzer release from Kristin. It gets up to flat but never turns over. She does punch through though. We'll have an obstructed birdie putt available for her. Certainly not an easy one though. We go now to Holyn.
Oh, and now she slips and kicks hard.
That's a tough scramble. She has a lot in the way there. I would say the left side is significantly friendlier for scramble potential than the right side. Hopefully she's short enough to maybe even play the traditional entrance to the green, as we'll likely see still from Missy there, who connects with the early tree, but does settle center fairway.
Catches one of those early trees, kicks hard left. Now she's in a kind of a tough spot to get up and down. It's going to take a really crafty forehand from the standstill. And it's just a little bit low. Doesn't get all the way up to the basket, but I don't know. Might be too obstructed to give it a great run. We'll have to see.
I would have liked to see something a touch more overstable for her on that steep Anheuser, get that full flight, but she has bitten off a lot of the remaining progress. We'll see if Missy can do the same here, and that is anything but good progress. Unfortunately, she will be throwing her third now from still back. Still has a gap to hit, still has significant distance. An important shot here for Missy now. And 3 shots now connecting with trees. That signature smile is beginning to fade as the beast settles in here. We go to Holyn. She's going to scramble under this low ceiling. These trees are doing their job, Andrew.
Yeah. Players are struggling a little more than I kind of expected to see so far, but that's a nice touch on the approach. Puts it right up by the basket. Had to go patent pending and trust that high Anheuser floating. Dropped it right in. Forehand's a little bit right, but should be enough to get the job done. Open look at least from about 5-6 meters. Sofia forced to lay it up. Not allowed to get the height through that tree. Kristin with the look, but not the most open. See if she can find a nice little window. And oh, she did. Just a touch high, hits the band, stays put. Luckily, this green can give you a lot of grief if you're unfortunate.
Great putt by Missy. It can quickly lead to frustration if your short putts aren't connecting and your long ones are really good looking but not going in.
Yeah, you might feel like you're doing everything right, but just, you know, the scores aren't really reflecting the effort. But that's the game of disc golf. You got to get it in the basket.
One way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Go now. Sofia, a short putt up the hill. Does secure the bogey with that putt there. Just like that. Bogey for Holyn as well. Par for Kristin. We proceed onto hole 7. This par 4 standing at 191 meters. You have this initial tunnel shot with a left to right slope and a series of tight gaps to hit. A good tee shot will beat all of those trees and crest up towards this flat part of the fairway. Anything here or beyond is the indicator of a great tee shot. You are then continuing down this winding tunnel of danger and proceeding to an even more dangerous green. This basket perched at the edge of a cliff, a steep drop off to the right. You can go a very long way down there if you are not careful. As a result, a lot of players will be careful with the use of overstability on the forehand approach, most likely throw a flat ending or slightly flexed backhand if they can. This hole asks and requires for a lot of good throws.
Yeah, it's a tight gap, and if you can move left, I think it's better. It'll open up more opportunities on that second shot, as Kristin shows. That's perfect. I mean, you can be straight as well, and that's fantastic also, but I don't know. You know, it's kind of feels like left is good. The green is just, yeah, the sketchiest on the course by far, so you got to be really careful on that approach and don't leave yourself too short or the putt's scary and you might have to lay it up.
To get to a good approach shot is a challenge of its own. We see Holyn there connect with the early trees. She will be left on the slope. I definitely agree with your assessment, Andrew, of moving left being a very good option. Both Sofia and Holyn air to the right side. The power hyzer works very well if you can continue forwards enough before fading. As we see from Missy here, likely a friendly skip towards the end. And a mean route, I lied, that was an unfriendly skip right there. But a very nice, well-executed shot. Holyn, first to scramble, looking to play for par at best now.
Oh, that's pretty far right. I don't know. I didn't actually see it come down, but it's not really where you want to be. That cliff that you talked about runs all the way along this hole. You usually see it come into play on the green there, but it's also all along the way as it heads down to the lake.
We see Sofia throwing up that very slope you're describing, Andrew. She does get herself up there. She will not have a particularly easy upshot, but she will have one to try and save the par. Missy playing forehand hyzer here. This is just a placement shot. You can see she's trying to chip away now at the available distance. She's done well. We'll just have to have a third successful placement shot now from there. Holyn up first. I'm expecting she's going to try to pump this one. Soft, straight pushing shot, and I hope she hits something, and so does she, because that was going towards danger quickly. She said it, far too much height on that hyzer. The rightwards movement would have landed her in a lot of danger. Kristin aired out to the left side off the drive. That opens up this approach angle. And the putt there off left side cage for Missy unfortunately finds edge, and she is plummeting down the hill. That ever-present danger here on the green of 7.
Yeah, it's a tough roll. Hate to see it. Now she has to come back up. It can be kind of tricky to get up to the basket even. Oh, she does well, though. She just gets over that little cliff's edge there with the barricade and terrace wall. Slides it up to the basket perfectly. Sometimes you get stuck down there if you hit something on the way up and roll back down. It's a very frustrating green in that regard as Kristin gets in unscathed. Beautiful view, though, as you can see.
And Holyn in for the bogey there after a long series of scramble shots. The dangers of hole 7 ever present there for our second feature card. We continue on to hole 8.
Yeah, hole 8. This is the shortest hole on the course, 72 meters, 236 feet. Of course, it's way uphill, so it plays like a lot more than that, but it's very reachable, and it moves right to left. They've built up this hay bale the last couple times they've had this big events here just to keep it, a little more tricky to get it up over that before you can just skip and slide. The basket's up on a mound here, so roll away is definitely in effect. You want to try to stick it as close as you can, or the putt can be a little nervy. There's a couple of obstructions there, as you see, these trees on the left. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a must-get birdie, but then there's a lot of things that can go wrong still. This is a
We have Kristin up first. A good height. A lot of hyzer. Finds her early left, but sneaks around the final guardian.
So
she is
good.
inside the bullseye. And I wouldn't say that it's an expectation to birdie this, Andrew, but you mentioned it being the shortest par 3. I think all of the players know they can and probably should more than they shouldn't.
Absolutely. That one hits some branches and rolls out of bounds. You almost never see that come into effect on this hole on that side. Very unfortunate to hit some branches coming in and catch an edge and just rolls to the OB on the right side. So she's going to be taking a probably bogey at best, and that can be a touchy approach. Look at that drive. Sticks it right underneath the basket. You cannot do any better than that, really. Just, I mean, it's really hard to ace this hole being such a high basket at the end, so to put it right under the bucket like that, it's fantastic. Super well done, and this is another great shot. Look at these.
Three textbook executions here of hole 8. We go to Sofia, left with a long and dangerous par save. I think likely a bogey incoming. Let's see how aggressive she opts to be. We see the branches preventing her from too much height. Yeah. She is effectively forced to lay up there. She could have gone around the branches, shaped a big Anheuser putt, but you're bringing so much more into play. She says the initial stroke was the last one I'm going to be taking.
Yeah, this little hill can be cruel, so you don't really want to fool around with it. You know, it's still early in this event, so you don't really want to take, you know, too big of risks there. But gets it close to the basket for an easy 4 anyway, no worries.
We proceed to hole 9. This par 3 sits at 110 meters downhill. They want to shape something through the trees here. A backhand turnover is very viable. The forehand hyzer playing over the left side OB, very viable. Most importantly, you want to avoid the OB long and OB lining the right side. This is a shot which can very quickly slip away from you. This final left to right slope going downhill. You see so much ground play. Discs, especially drivers that come in fast, can get an extra 10 to 20 meters very easily. And as a result, speed control is going to be the name of the game here, regardless of the shot you choose. Kristin, not surprised to see her shaping the forehand. This will go out towards the OB left and swing back to the right, utilizing the slope for that rightwards movement.
Yeah, they backed this one up about 10 or 15 meters, 40 plus feet. Now the OB comes into play on the back door, and it's tougher to reach. Shout out to Kevin Jones for skip acing it the other day. It has been aced quite often in the past, but now I think it's much tougher as they backed it up. Any ace runs are really kind of bringing that OB into effect. That one gets OB on the right side, I believe, after a skip and roll. We're seeing the forehands, but there's also this inside line. I think we're going to see Missy try to craft. It's definitely there if you got it, but if it kicks right, there is OB. That's pretty clean. And that'll give her a circle 2 look. That would have been inside the circle in years past, so definitely a little bit tougher this year.
Sofia now has this very high and very turned. She contests with both the gap and the ceiling, finds both, and somehow also neither.
A decent result considering that was heading straight for the OB, but the trees helped her. Didn't gain much progress, but
great look at the spectator presence even early in the morning on this Wednesday.
Yeah,
they're littering all the holes. They're watching the action. They're soaking it in, following their favorite pros. It's amazing.
It's very impressive. I've been watching disc golf in Finland for many years and seen many big crowds, but to have it on the first day already, this many people, it's a great sign, and it's a really exciting, proud moment for Finland to showcase how much they love disc golf here at the highest level for the World Championships.
A little bit of a low entrance there from Missy's putt. Curls up. We go to Kristin for the birdie look. And just shy again.
A little bit timid.
Now Sofia to save the par. And out the left, she will concede a bogey. Unfortunately for her, 6 bogeys in a row now. Holes 4 through 9.
He was slipping there. Yeah. See if she can turn it around in the back 9, but this course can bite you, you know, like it's very scoreable as we've mentioned, but then if you get a little bit off and you start finding those OBs, or if you can't find comfort on the greens, you know, those strokes will add up real quick out here. You have to be dialed in.
And just like that, the front 9 is in the books. We see even 2+4s and a +6 on our second feature card, but a couple names have snuck their way under par here at the grandest, biggest tournament in disc golf history. It's amazing, Andrew.
Yeah, Finland's first World Championships, very historic event here, very memorable. We're off to the races. Make sure you come on down if you're in the area to check it out. It's going to be a huge show. Get yourself some flying plate gear, soak up the vibes. Disc golf at its highest level.
Take advantage. We appreciate every single one of you joining, particularly our YouTube MDG members. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe, but more than that, join us for the 10 total rounds that we will be bringing you here on MDG Media of this chase card coverage. It's an exciting week. We want to bring you with us. Thank you. Have a great evening. We'll see you at the next one.
See you on the other side.